You're listening to Potty Mouth Radio, the home of movies, music, television, and comedy. The following podcast contains spoilers and rude words. We watch TV. We watch TV. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to We Watched a Thing with Billy and Dave. How you doing, mate?
I am good, despite the fact my computers all hate me.
Yeah, we have spent about 45 minutes just trying to hit the record button, but it all worked out great because it means that we're not alone. I'm happy to introduce to the show friend, lover, family, Sam Hurley. How you doing, mate?
Yes, I'm none of those things. Yes. I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. The computers are taking over. That's all I got to say. I've seen Companion. You guys have just interrupted me mid-stroke to Subservience, that Megan Fox movie where she plays a heavily Botox.
That's a serious warning for society about the dangers of jailbreaking your phone.
Hey,
yeah, exactly.
Hey,
so,
Dave,
yeah,
have you seen Companion?
No, not yet. Haven't had a chance. I'm super keen.
Okay, well... All right, well, Sam and I might do a mini... we'll do a mini review of that after Brave New World, so we can at least talk about something good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, tell you what, I've now seen 3 of the 20 films that were on our top 10 most anticipated, and mixed bag, I'll tell you.
All right, well, let's kick off with Captain America Brave New World, a 2025 American superhero film based on Marvel Comics, of course. It is the 4th installment in the Captain America film series and the 35th film in the MCU, which is very much ready to die. Directed by Julius Onah, from a screenplay by Robert Edwards, and the writing teams of Malcolm Spellman and Darlan Moosen, and Onah and Peter Glanz. Shitloads of writers on this thing. Stars Anthony Mackie.
Peter Glanz.
Huh?
That's funny. Did you say Peter Glanz?
I did, yeah.
That's funny.
Anthony Mackie, Danny Ramirez, Shira Haas, Carl Lumbly, Giancarlo Esposito, Liv Tyler, Tim Blake Nelson, Harrison Ford. Let's get into it. Sam, since you're our guest, what's the movie about?
Well, it's kind of hard to describe because there's such a paper thin plot.
Have you seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I have not, which really fucking hurt this movie.
Well, you have now. Same plot.
Pretty much, yeah. Captain Mackie is coming to grips with the fact that he's now Captain America, and yeah, there's a plot.
I
don't know. Like, people have seen this. People know what it is.
All right, Sam.
It's basically, an evil dude has been working behind the scenes to not overthrow the government, but to basically cause everyone to see General Thunderbolt Ross, who's lied on a promise, to see him for who he really is. And Captain Mackie is basically trying to be Captain America, while at the same time he doesn't have a super serum in him. He's just got a suit from the Wakandans, and he's a hybrid between Captain America Shield and Falcon, as previously.
Yeah. So, Sam, you're our resident kind of MCU fan. Neither Dave or I are super hot on the MCU, so we had to get you on a course. Were you actually looking forward to this one, or even you kind of at the end of your tether?
Captain America film without Captain America in it.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't have a problem with Falcon having become Captain America, but at the same time, like, I feel like he's Falcon. Like, it's his own identity. It's something cool. It's something unique that he can, live up to and stuff like that. But that being said, like, I wasn't like massively anticipating this film. I didn't have any expectations going into it, and I was kind of glad I did. Because, I mean, this is the thing, is like, I went into Thor Love and Thunder with the biggest expectations and was just horribly disappointed. This one I went into, and I've read the comic book storyline where Falcon becomes Captain America and all that sort of shit, and it's all right. And like, I went into it with like, we'll see what they can do. And like, I know you fucking hated it, Billy. I had a good time. I had a good time.
Did you hate this, Billy?
Mate. Big Dizzle's big call. I messaged Sammy when I was about halfway through this movie. I wasn't even done with it yet. And I said, I'm not going to bother rewatching all fucking 34 movies to check for recency bias. But if this isn't the worst MCU movie, it's fucking close. This is a bag of crap.
Well,
I hated
Billy,
every second of this thing.
unless you watch all of them, your opinion's not valid. So you need to go out tonight. 34 screens.
I know you've already done a big call, but I'm going to get you to double down. Is this the worst film you've seen this year? And I remind you, you have seen Flight Risk.
Yes, this is 100% the worst film I've seen this year.
Wow.
I liked Flight Risk a lot. Flight Risk
is a bag of
like
feces.
we'll talk about Flight Risk at some point. Ignore Marky Mark. Topher Grace and Michelle Dockery are fucking fantastic in Flight Risk, and it's a well-directed movie that has a lot of tension in it. I really enjoyed Flight Risk for what it was.
Worst written movie I've seen in a decade.
I didn't have a single second of fun with this movie. Even Harrison Ford could not redeem this movie. It just had absolutely nothing going for it for me.
I warned you about this, man. You can't go into movie theaters and just punch yourself in the dick for 2 hours. Of course you're not going to enjoy it.
What about you, Dave? Where were you on this film? I'm guessing you're somewhere in between Sam and
Middle of the road. It was a film I saw. It was neither horrendously bad nor particularly good. It was very middle of the road. I was expecting it to be terrible, and it wasn't that bad.
Come on.
I think but I'm not. In the post Endgame run, it's not the worst. It's certainly nowhere near the best, but it's no Multiverse of Madness. Absolute train wreck.
This is worse than...
This was just a bit dull.
No, honestly, this is what I was talking about in our worst of last year episode when Madam Web came up. And I got on my high horse and I said, Madam Web is no worse than half of the movies in the MCU. This is the exact kind of movie I was talking about. This is worse than Madam Web.
Madam Web is a badly written film.
So is this. It's terribly written film.
I think the dialogue and the art of the writing in this is worse. But I think the actual plotting in Madam Web is that's moronic.
Here's my biggest issue, and I know that, Sam, this isn't a problem for you because you keep up on all this stuff, but we are well and truly at the point now where no longer, this is not a movie in its own right. Forgive the fact that it's the 35th film in this franchise. This actually has no relation to the first 3 Captain America films. I don't think you need to have seen them to understand this.
No, the only link to Captain America is it references to Endgame.
Yeah, but walking into this having not seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they don't even introduce the characters. I had no idea who Joaquin Torres was, and he's just there doing stuff, and I'm like, wait, who the fuck is this guy? They don't introduce him. He's got a suit on. He's a superhero, and it's like, what the fuck is this?
That's not new. That's the Disney model.
No, but it's gotten worse. We are well and truly at the saturation point now where you cannot walk in and enjoy this movie if you have not seen the TV series that precedes it. And I think that's
exactly the same complaint we had with, among many complaints with Multiverse of Madness. If you hadn't seen WandaVision, that movie made zero fucking sense.
Yeah, even worse than that was the Marvels. But at least the Marvels, they had some throwaway lines as to who Kamala Khan was.
That's right.
And who the other, they didn't even call her, what's her fucking real name? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm blanking.
Monica Rambeau from...
Monica Rambeau. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I blanked on that. They did have throwaway lines as to what Monica Rambeau was and how she'd come about her powers and stuff like that. At least they've done a little bit.
Yeah.
This is now a week ago for me, and a week with a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old might as well be a millennia ago that I watched it. But it's I don't feel like they had that throwaway line of okay, he's the new Falcon. But even still, they were kind of grappling with that idea of, is he the new Falcon? But I get what you're saying. Especially for me, 2 of the biggest complaints I feel they dealt with that people have been saying is well, actually, no, there's one massive complaint that I've been saying, which is a giant fucking alien came out the center of the planet in Eternals and no one has mentioned it.
Yeah.
And it was they've gone, okay, we need to do something about that, guys.
Even the Russo brothers and James Gunn are going, are they ever going to fucking talk about this thing?
Yeah. Exactly. So it's they've gone, okay, let's address that in one of the most fucking, central plot devices as well, possible sort of thing. And then the other one too, around the Samuel Stearns being the leader. If you hadn't seen the post-credit scene of Hulk back in 2008, Incredible Hulk, where he's lying there as a previous lab assistant or whatever to Bruce Banner, and a drop of gamma radiation lands on a slit like cut on his forehead, you'd have no idea who the fuck he is.
No,
I knew who. I know who he was from the comics as well,
Yeah.
obviously. So I know what his powers are and all that sort of shit. So when he popped up, I'm like, oh, mean. But I was like imagining the average person. You're right, sitting there going,
Yeah.
who?
I mean, I had no fucking memory who Thaddeus Ross was.
Like, he used to be William Hurt.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and
Hey, at least they said in the movie, I'm kind of getting. It's taking me a while to get used to the new look.
Yeah.
It's like lose the mustache or lose the election.
Yeah.
At least they kind of addressed the Samuel Stern. At least they kind of mentioned, hey, I was there when you went after the Hulk. Like, at least they kind of mentioned that, like,
Isaiah Bradley,
it was
no
like-
mention of who he was. just like, hey,
No,
here's
that's
this guy, and you all know who this guy is.
If you don't subscribe to our streaming service and watch every piece of stuff that we throw at you, fuck you. We don't give a shit about you, and that's just their business model, really, and has been for some years.
It could be easily addressed with just throwaway lines like, "Oh,
Yes.
hey, are you off to see Isaiah, that guy that's been training you?"
And they tried to do that, but they did it
No,
so
they
badly
didn't.
it made it more confusing. They was like,
Yes.
the OG Captain America, and if you hadn't seen the show, that would have just made it more confusing.
It did.
Yeah.
I was super confused.
But there was so much, and I think you've listed at least 4 writers. It made sense that, and they were probably not in the same room together because there's so many elements that feel like they've just been shoved in by someone into a scene that was written by someone. Bucky turns up for 3 seconds. There's some reference to him going for political office or something, and then he's gone. And we all know he's going to be in fucking Thunderbolts ***.
Actually, I have no idea what Thunderbolts is, but I did see a trailer for Fantastic Four, and that's the first time I've been excited for an MCU movie in forever. Is that actually part of the MCU proper?
Yes, but it's
sort of
alternate universe back in the 60s or something.
Yeah.
There'll be some bullshit multiverse thing probably to wind them together. But yeah, that got me a little bit of kind of early WandaVision episodes excited that they were actually taking a different tack style-wise and doing something interesting.
I don't like the Fantastic Four. I'm a massive Marvel guy. As far as like Marvel characters go, they're very low down on my rung of. I don't know. It's sacrilege because they're the first superhero family or the first superheroes.
Yeah,
But we moved on. We moved on.
But, yeah.
Just bring the fucking stop teasing us with adamantium and then bringing in characters that we know are fucking mutants, but making them not mutants, like fucking what's her name, Saber or whatever, the Israeli.
Saber, yep.
Yeah. Bring her in, but she's not a mutant. Fucking well, don't put her into the adamantium movie and make us think, you've got a mutant in there.
I've got to say, she was the worst casting I've seen in a movie in a long time.
She was terrible, man.
She was outrageously bad.
Yeah.
She's a good actress, though. She's just.
Is she?
Is she?
Yeah, she's a good actress. I've seen her in other things. She's been nominated for fucking Emmys and whatever, and has quite a long career in Israel in stuff, and is quite well regarded. But I'm with you. I didn't buy her as an ex-widow. I didn't buy her as, and it sounds bad because people can't help their stature, but she is genuinely quite a small lady, and. Believing that I don't care how well fucking trained you are, that she is taken down 200-pound fucking special forces dudes in a heartbeat. It's just, and without mutant powers. If they just tease that she's a mutant and has super strength and super speed and stuff, fine. But you took all of that out because you're afraid to use the word mutant.
I mean, she was the worst performance in the film, but I don't think there was a good performance in this film. Like, I'm a Tim Blake Nelson fan. He was fucking horrendous in this thing.
Everyone seems he was one of the people I liked most in this.
Oh, woof.
I liked him.
I thought he was all right. I loved I thought Giancarlo Esposito, like, being a little bit more playful with one of his roles. I thought that was quite
give
good.
us more than 3 seconds on screen.
Yeah.
Fucking he's there, a blink, and then he's gone, and
I know.
That's interesting. You think he was more playful in this role? To me, this was typecast Giancarlo Esposito. This is the character he always plays.
Basically, I thought, but
yeah.
No, I thought he had a bit more like
him.
He had a bit more like sort of, like playfulness about him when he was like, "Oh, how'd you survive an axe wound to the stomach?" And then like when I get out of here, I'm coming to kill you. I was like, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah, okay.
He's like saying it with like a smile as opposed to just like a stone cold, I'm going to fucking murder you demeanor. So I was right with that. I liked Harrison Ford trying. I thought Harrison Ford was first time I've seen him trying in a long time outside of TV.
Other than Shrinking, this is the most I've seen him seemingly invested in a role in quite a while.
Oh, really? He's been dropping shit on this film from great heights in every interview he does. In every interview, he's like, "Oh, the movie was terrible, and everyone making it knew it was terrible." Like, he's like literally.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah. He's been dropping shit all over it.
The only thing I've seen is this was the first time he's gone out for a movie that he wanted to be in. He basically petitioned Marvel to cast him in something.
Right. Wow, I'm surprised by that because all the interviews I've seen have been him like, oh, everyone working on it knew this movie was bad. Like,
it's funny you say that because
I'm 82 and I'm Harrison Ford and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. What are you gonna do? Cancel me? I'm fucking retired.
Yeah,
but like, it's funny because this movie had a long like litany of issues with the production, right? Like they did countless reshoots and all that sort of shit, and like there was at some point there, I think there was a debate as to whether they just scrap it and move on or give a sort of thing. And I feel like they've salvaged as best they can. I also heard, because I know people that know people that know people, that they actually like made two completely different films in terms of tone. And one was like leaning way more into that spy thriller. The other one was more of the Marvel, what it's degenerated to of Ant-Man and some of these other movies where it's like way more comedic and all that sort of stuff. And I feel like we've probably gotten more of the spy thriller one. Both of them tested fucking poorly.
Yeah.
Like both of them tested really, really poorly.
2/3 of the movie?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not glowingly reviewing this at all. Like I had fun. You know what I mean? Like this for me was like going to see a Fast and the Furious movie where I know what's going to happen, but I'm still enjoying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting. See, I feel like the Fast and Furious movies give you what you want when you want it. They're just right in from the start, batshit crazy. I felt like half of this movie was really dull. And by the back half, when it was so obvious what was going to happen, I was just fucking waiting for Red Hulk. And then you get about 5 minutes of it at the end, and it's really poorly slapped together. Like, give me more Red Hulk. Tim Blake Nelson was a crap villain. There was kind of, Giancarlo Esposito was way more entertaining as a villain than Tim Blake Nelson was. And then he just disappeared halfway into the movie and he was barely there. It was so slapped together, I felt.
I think the entire premise of the film was badly conceived, badly written. If you've got a guy and his core emotional arc, even though it's an exact duplicate of his emotional arc from his TV show, which is just him bemoaning the fact, he shouldn't have given me the shield. Am I worthy? Only we've got an added element of, should I have taken the super soldier? Yeah, you fucking should have, dude. It's the one thing everyone's complained about your stupid character is that you've got less going for you than Hawkeye.
Yeah, okay, so let me ask about
him,
this.
Don't put him up against fucking Red Hulk because it's utterly stupid.
Let me ask about this
Iron Man barely held his own for 5 seconds against Hulk in a specifically designed Hulkbuster suit that was designed with the sole purpose of being able to stand up to the Hulk.
Yeah.
We've got human Sam in his, leather motorcycle thing with some, fancy Wakandan wings. And he's there, like, skewering Red Hulk in the guts and shooting him with apparently vibranium.
As someone who did not watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier or whatever that show was called, what is the deal with Sam? So he's Captain America because Chris Evans gave him his shield.
Well, at the end of Endgame, I'll
take King Arthur. If you pick up the metal thing, you're the dude.
Yeah, at the end of Endgame, Chris Evans handed him the shield rather than Bucky, and bullshit. Sam Wilson was like, "Whoa, what do you mean? What does this mean?" Sort of thing. He's like, "I want you to have this, Sam," and he gave him the shield. And then the TV series explores how, like, Bucky's sort of suffering from PTSD of having been this, Stockholm assassin for most of his life. Counter to that is Sam Wilson's journey of becoming Captain America when he's not a white guy. He's, a black guy who's experienced everything that African Americans have had to experience and stuff like that. And then he meets Isaiah Bradley, who basically says to him, I was Captain America in the Korean War, but no one talks about me. No one recognizes me for any of my services and all that sort of shit. And when I came back from the war, they experimented on me for 30 years before he's like, I hate the fucking government. So a lot of that is like, I don't want to be this government pawn. at the same time, there's all the wrestling with the fact that like he should never have given it to me. He's wrestling with that. He was this like pinnacle of who a superhuman should be in terms of selfless acts, in terms of never giving up, in terms of all that sort of shit. I'm not that, I'm this guy that was a special Air Force dude and now has been taken along on this wild fucking ride. I should never become Captain America. So we're still seeing some of the remnants of that in this. And then when, and I don't think anyone was very excited when they were like, okay, you should be the one that starts the Avengers. It's like, who is the Avengers now? Is it you? Is it Shang-Chi? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Who else?
Yeah, I who knows what the hell
a
happens
Hulk
with
that
the
no
Avengers.
one
Yeah,
wants?
yeah. Yeah. So he had the option to take the super serum?
Oh, yeah, apparently. I don't remember that. I don't think that was ever on... That wasn't in the TV series, I don't think.
Yes, so there was...
It's so god-awful, I've blanked it out, but...
I'm reminding myself because there is the other character, the main character from the TV series that's going to get led into, the Thunderbolts, which is John Walker. So they basically came up with a super serum that was being used, and he was trying to investigate that as well. And through the investigation of that, they had the opportunity for Sam Wilson to take the super serum and then become...
Oh, that's right, because the terrorist guys had it, or they were getting it, and the main chick with the freckles had it.
Yeah. Who was playing Carla? Who was playing Carl Montague, who's Flag Smasher in the comics. She was Carla Montague.
Flag Smasher, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they had the opportunity for him to take it, and he goes, "I don't want to take it," and instead they gave it to this other John Walker guy, who then just brutally murdered people, and they were like, "Okay, we made a mistake here." Yeah. so then Sam Wilson tracked down John Walker and was like, "Give me back that shield." And so John Walker is Kurt Russell's son.
US agent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell, yeah. So he's in
Russell.
Thunderbolts as basically passed over Captain America. So he's going to be a grumpy fuck in that movie, or performance anxiety.
We'll get funnier lines in that based on the trailer, though. I was the real Captain America. Yeah, and then what does Yelena say? Hey, for like 8 seconds.
Yeah. So, what else do you want to know about the MCU?
Look, did anyone else find it really weird that they've very conveniently, everyone in the world has forgotten about the entire Winter Soldier program? And
I mean, haven't half the audience forgotten about most of the shit that's happened in these films?
Well, if you're meaning that Bucky's going to run for senator, I'd like to point to real life events in America at the moment.
A guy who's a guest of Captain America randomly pulls out a gun in the middle of a thing and with a glazed look on his face just starts popping off shots at the president. 6 or 7 other people who are in the Secret Service all stand up and start doing the same shit when weird music randomly plays in the room.
Wait, so is that what Winter Soldier was? Was Winter Soldier brainwashed?
He was triggered by code words.
Gotcha.
From Baron Zemo, but Captain America: The Winter Soldier, the whole plot was around this guy who was a sleeper agent who was triggered by stuff and had no control of his actions. They've obviously exonerated Bucky. He's now a hero and running for politics. So they understand that the people who fall prey to this are innocent. At no point does anyone even entertain the idea that this is anything other than a old, disgruntled ex-Captain America somehow enrolling half the Secret Service in his plan to get revenge. Even when Sam Wilson goes, "Oh, this reminds me of a friend of mine." I'm not going to tell anyone about that, but seems ready. "Oh, Bucky, you're here. Oh, yeah, how's the politics?" "Okay, yeah. Anyway, Isaiah, why did you do this?"
To me, that was like one of my favorite scenes of the movie as well. Like it was, but at the same time, you're right. Like it's preposterous that that they had all these other people do it as well, yet they were like just going after Isaiah. They were like, you're right. Like this guy's like fucking lost his shit and all that sort of shit.
And they look at the security footage for 2 seconds. They go, "Oh, wait a minute. Their phone. The guys that did all this all had their phones flash in their face at the same time."
Yeah. And then she notices it, and then she does what everybody else would do. It doesn't tell fucking anyone. Like I said, plot's paper thin, but fucking tell you what, that Top Gun action scene that had me in. I was ready to join the Navy after that.
Okay, no, so
Joaquin was my favorite character, and they shot him down halfway through it.
This was going to be my next question, because you said you had fun with this movie, Sam.
Yeah.
And I want to know when. Like, tell me like,
Explain
When
yourself.
I watched it,
How dare you enjoy things?
I mean, like when in the movie, because I kept waiting for an action scene to happen, and I'm not that guy. I'm not like an action movie guy, but I was waiting for something to happen
Fast
in this
10,
film.
9 out of 10. Released
yeah.
That's
remember.
a fucking good movie. I kept waiting for something to happen, and then when it did, it was such a letdown. Like, which scenes like really did it for you guys?
I really enjoyed the Air Force scene or whatever you want to call it when they're like, you know, intercepting planes and
The whole
missiles.
Top
and that
Gun
sort of
bit was
Over
that
the
was
Indian Ocean.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I actually enjoyed the part at the start where he, infiltrated the church. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was quite interesting, and we got to see Falcon. There was parts of it like that I was like, okay, I'm in, you know. And
Okay.
like I said, going into this with no expectations, having heard that it's kind of a ripoff of Winter Soldier, I was like, oh, there's going to be some, you know, like some subterfuge and shit going on in the background. There was a little bit of that, but it was very easy to spot and work out what was happening. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just had fun. Like, I just enjoyed it. And the Hulk scene, yeah, it's preposterous. It's stupid that he's in his Wakandan suit fighting the Hulk. Yes, it's stupid. I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I'm with you. I had more fun with this movie than I expected
Wow.
to. It's
Yeah.
I think
I don't know,
the
man.
writing of it is worse than I expected, but I had more fun with it than I thought I would.
See, the entire
I
Indian
was
Ocean.
expecting terrible writing.
I'm used to MCU films making me angry lately.
This
This didn't make me angry.
Interestingly, that's what
a
this film did
massive
for me.
improvement.
That's what this film did for me. The entire Top Gun scene you guys are talking about, I was just like, okay, give me fucking Red Hulk now. Like, they kept teasing it and teasing it and teasing it, and then you finally get it at the end for about 4 minutes, and he looks terrible, and the action in that scene is terrible.
What?
And yes, he looked worse than the Incredible Hulk in 2008. That entire
with that.
scene was poorly composited. It was
Really
really
like
bad.
the MCU edging him all the way to the end.
I liked him. I thought it was cool. When I
Yeah.
saw him, I thought, this is fucking brutal. He was like psychopathic and just destroying shit, willy-nilly. I was like, fuck you. That's what I want. I want this dude set up. I want us to now the other Hulk to go back to being a fucking crazy psychopath. I want these two
Yeah.
in the same universe. I want to see them beat the fucking ever-living shit out of each other. I want it to be like the comics.
Yeah,
I want Red
yeah,
Hulk
yeah.
to die from exhaustion or whatever fighting
Yeah.
the fucking Green Hulk. Let's fucking see it.
I would
Give
love
me
to
some-
see that. I don't know
I want
that we're
World War
going
Hulk.
to. Yeah, that would be
If
great.
If they want me to get excited about the MCU again,
Yeah.
have fucking Hulk lose his mind in one of these next Avengers movies
Yeah.
to the point that every single fucking superpowered person on the planet has to try and take him down because he's gone fucking psychotic.
would
and
love
he's
that.
destroying
I would
fucking
love that.
everything.
I don't
They
think
have
we
to
can
let
get
Red
it,
Hulk
but-
out. They have
Got
to let
Red Hulk.
everyone
Well,
else on the
and
raft
not
out.
just him. We've got a really bad CG version of Scar now too.
Yeah, we've got Scar. Well, jettison him off into the fucking space. I don't give a shit. He can go back to fucking
I'd love to see that. I don't think
go
we're
back
going
to
to get it.
Scar or whatever. But
I don't want to
What-
yuck
but
anyone's
where-
yum.
where
I'm
is
glad that you guys
Bruce?
had fun.
When all this shit's
Yeah.
happening, because as soon as they
We haven't seen
Wheeled
Bruce in
out-
years.
wheeled out
well, we have.
what's her name, Liv Tyler, I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Whatever happened with that? I get the events of the first Hulk film where their relationship, can't happen because he's a raging, destructive rage beast who's struggling with all that shit. He's not
It
doing
looks
that
like
now.
Ed Norton.
Why hasn't he called her up and gone, oh, now I'm Professor Hulk. Do you want to hang out?
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised we haven't seen it either. And Billy, to answer your point, where is he? We've seen him. He was in the She-Hulk TV series.
Yeah.
That was that. I
which was
watched
excellent.
that series. I liked that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. All right.
And here's the thing: like a lot of people say, like, where are they when this shit happens? Right? He hulks out and then destroys half a fucking, the place where he is in 5 minutes. You can't expect Hulk to just break, fucking break, the speed of fucking
Oh,
light.
no, I
and the-
didn't mean why wasn't he in this, but I just meant
No, I'm having a go at
I'd
Billy.
forgotten Betty Ross was in this universe.
Yeah.
Now that we know she is, it's been 15 years or something since he first Hulk. They haven't had a coffee? What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she hates him, but they also made the smart decision of only giving Liv Tyler like 2 lines of dialogue. So that's kind of a good thing, to be honest.
How are you guys scoring this movie? I'm a 2 out of 10 for Brave New World.
Ooh, flat 5.
All right. Sammy?
I'm going to pump that up to a solid 6.
Okay. All right. I'm happy for you guys.
Look, as I said, enjoyed it. I thought the action scenes were great. I thought, what Wafer Finn plot there was acceptable. I feel like they've done a good job of salvaging what was probably a fucking train wreck.
Yeah.
And rather than they've taken a train wreck and turned it into a car wreck. So it's
I feel a bit bad. I mean, I'm not the biggest Anthony Mackie fan. I generally don't think he's massively great in anything, but I feel sorry for him. He had his TV show where he obviously thought, oh, second tier character, get in my fucking... And the TV show had production issues all over the place, rewrites all over the place, and ended up being a train wreck. Probably thought, oh, I'm not coming back from that. Then he gets the call. You've got your own movie. You're the first MCU film of the year. Captain America, Brave New World. Oh, yeah, great. Production issues galore, rewrites galore.
Yeah.
Comes out the other end, bit of a train wreck.
So this movie is being marketed as Captain America Brave New World, but correct me if I'm wrong, the title at the start only said Brave New World, right? It did not actually say Captain America anywhere in the film.
Not on the same title screen, but did it have Captain America earlier?
I don't think it did. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
I know Brave New World certainly came up by itself.
Yeah, maybe it did.
Have we had the Chinese release? I don't know if you guys have seen the posters for the Chinese release, but
I'm guessing that you don't see Anthony Mackie's skin color.
yes, correct. You don't see his face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of amorphous blob fighting the Red Hulk, who's front and center. Yeah.
Yeah. That tracks.
We love red things.
Yeah, exactly. All this I don't want to be killed by the Chinese communists.
All right. Well, from my least favorite movie of the year to one of the best movies I've seen this year, Sam, let's talk a little bit about Companion.
Okay.
Hoping that you liked it as much as I did. Companion is a 2025 American science fiction dark comedy thriller written and directed by Drew Hancock. One writer, note that. It stars Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid, as well as Lucas Gage, Megan Suri, Harvey Guillén, and Rupert Friend. And what is it about, Sam?
Sophie Thatcher is a partner to Jack Quaid, and they go on a holiday together. Dave hasn't seen it. Well, we don't want to ruin this for him, do we?
I can turn my audio off, and you can just wave your hand when you stop talking if you want.
But you know what the premise is, at least, right, Dave?
Yeah, the trailer I thought was good, but then all the other marketing completely blew the fact that she's a fucking sex bot or whatever.
Okay.
And
Well,
that should have been a reveal, because from what I gather, you don't get.
You find it out. No. You find it out pretty early. You find it out. I want to say 10 minutes into the film. Top.
No, it's a little longer than that. But the thing is, like, the movie does pretty well at hinting at it.
It does, yes.
Like, if I hadn't known that reveal, I would have been like, "Wow, that's interesting." I mean, I probably would have figured something's fucking going on a bit odd, but
Because the thing about it is, Dave, it's actually a very, very short film. I want to say it's about 84 minutes. It's less than an hour and a half. So they go away for a weekend. Jack Quaid tells her fairly early on that she is a companion bot.
She doesn't know before that?
She doesn't know. She thinks that she's real. So she has implanted memories and everything of them meeting and...
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah. And so the film turns into one of my favorite kind of films, basically. It becomes like a revenge kind of hunting people down type film. And I had a heap of fun with this. Did you like it, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, we can keep it fairly short and simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I was pleasantly surprised. I did walk out of it saying to you that there's one small change I'd make, and that would probably propel it up to be a solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
But still enjoyed it. Still enjoyed it quite a lot. Yeah, I mean, she's amazing. Jack Quaid and like the other actors and actresses in this do a fairly reasonable job.
Yeah.
There was enough twists in that I was like, wow, okay. You know, there was enough. It was enough for me to be like, and I love sci-fi shit like this. I love Upgrade movies like that where you like, slightly feels like it's only 6 months in the future, a year in the future. You know,
yes.
not too far away. That sort of like, fuck, where are we going sort of movie. I love those.
We all know Elon Musk's already got one of these at his home.
yeah. But yeah,
if he hasn't been replaced by one himself. Yeah.
The way it plays with the sci-fi elements, I thought was really cool. And I think for me, it's the best mix of kind of thriller, horror, and comedy that I've seen since Ready or Not. I thought that the comedy moments really worked. Like Jack Quaid is both funny and kind of scary in this film, I think. I think that he actually does a really good job. Him and Thatcher, I think, really carry the film. Like you said, Sam, the others are good, but they're just kind of there. There's one other character that I won't mention in front of Dave because I think that's probably the biggest, most interesting twist of the film. But yeah, I had a heap of fun with it. You should definitely see it, Dave.
I mean, it was. I don't think I had it in my top 10 most anticipated, but it was an honourable mention. And after we recorded that ep, I did think, you know what? Because I saw the trailer again. I'm probably more keen for this than I am for some of the stuff that made my top 10, like Avatar. So it probably should have been in there. But definitely keen.
I mean, I've been trying to tick off.
I'm glad some of our anticipated things are actually delivering, unlike Flight Risk.
Flight Risk fucking slapped. We'll talk about that next week. I've been trying to tick off as many of the Oscar-nominated films that I haven't seen yet. And honestly, of everything I've seen so far this year, Companion is probably maybe my second or third favorite at worst. Like I really, really enjoyed it.
Higher than Heretic for you?
Yes, higher than Heretic.
Yeah, definitely higher than Heretic.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but Billy came out of Heretic saying it's one of the best films of the year.
It's not.
No, I didn't. No, I came out saying that it wasn't even my favorite religious horror of the year because
that's true. Yes,
because Immaculate existed, and Immaculate was fucking great. Don't you slog it off, Sam.
You're lucky that I'm still in mid reboot on the machine, or you'd be getting your Sydney Sweeney boob sound drop.
Immaculate was all right, but I remember saying I think I messaged you and maybe Topher about it.
Probably.
You were like, "Oh, I fucking love this shit," and I was like, "Sydney Sweeney is not a good actress.
She can be a fantastic actress." Have you watched *Handmaid's Tale*?
No, forget about *Handmaid's Tale*.
No, I haven't actually.
Have you seen Anyone But You?
Yeah, that movie sucks.
You need to. That's peak Sydney Sweeney. She's amazing in that film. No. Fucking what a film! So good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm a 9 on Companion. How are you scoring it, Sam?
Yeah, it's an 8, and literally. Like I said to you, if you deleted one small part of this movie, it would 100% be a 9. That was
nice. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us again, Sam. Can you tell the good people where they can find you and everything that you do?
Yes, on this network, there's also another podcast called Movie Reviews and 20 Qs that isn't hosted by these two wonderful people. And on that podcast, we take a movie and ask 20 questions about it. We are potentially going to do this film. However, me and the other guy that have gone to see it have both, as I mentioned, if I can delete it from my memory, but some upcoming episodes. We actually did an episode on Heretic, which I don't remember because it was just before Christmas, and now I'm editing it now. Just like, oh, wow. We did an episode on Carry On and Heretic. That was supposed to be our first one that released this year, but we did Spider-Man. And then after that, me and our wonderful friend Emily Higgins of Tasteless, which is another podcast you guys should all check out. Me, her, and my beloved friend Kahu, we did The Substance in terms of preparation for hopefully Demi winning a...
wouldn't that be good?
Emily Higgins is one of my favorite people in the world. I bet that was fun to talk about with her. I'm guessing that she enjoyed The Substance.
Oh, yeah. I was disappointed that there wasn't any hyperbole sandwiches, which for people that don't know our podcast, if we give something a score over 10,000 out of 10,000, we call it the hyperbole sandwich, which I was very disappointed Emily didn't. She dressed up as the girl in her yellow jacket and stuff for Halloween. So I was like, fuck, she is going to be hyperbole sandwich on this. Because I love hyperbole sandwiches. I love hearing people.
That actually reminds me that I have a message to respond to her from about 2 weeks ago. I was going to remind you about that.
You're fired.
Well, thank you for joining us, Sam. Next week, Dave, we actually don't even know what we're talking about, but I suggest that at least one of them should be Flight Risk. Maybe we just, because I know that you and I have both seen so many movies. Maybe next week is just
Flight
like
Risk,
a roundup.
Wolfman, in the Gorge.
Yep. I saw fuck, what's the name of it? Complete Unknown, September 5.
Fucking Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah. Bridget Jones.
So uninspired by that. And
I can't stand him either. I hate Chalamet.
And I don't care how many people say, oh, he's so good as Bob Dylan. I don't believe it. Even after I've seen it, and he is good, I still won't believe it.
Okay. Spoiler alert, it's a good movie. I liked it. I liked it much more than I expected to.
Have you seen the, what was it called? I Was Never Really Here or something, whatever it's, where you've got...
Where like 5 different people.
7 or 8
playing.
people, Kate Blanchett, your favourite Kate Blanchett playing. How would the two of them sit?
Complete Unknown is better. But
Wow.
they're different films. This Complete Unknown, I was not really... I didn't really know anything about... Like, obviously, he's Dylan. But I don't know if you know this, Dave. The film focuses very clearly on Dylan's very early career.
And have to, because Chalamet's about 14.
Well, so the film is about the lead up to I want to say it was the 67 folk festival where he played an electric set and people lost their minds.
Yep. Dylan went electric.
And so that's what the entire film, it's just a lead up to that one moment, and that's the end, is when he goes electric. And so, I mean, look, I think it probably helps that I'm as you know, a huge folk fan, a huge Dylan fan. There's a lot of Joan Baez in the film. Joan Baez is probably the second lead.
Who plays Baez in it?
God, I actually didn't recognize her, but she was also fantastic and very pretty.
She was really, really good. I remember straight after being like, where does she come from?
Yeah, I didn't recognize her, but she was really good in the film. So I actually enjoyed it much more than I expected to. I don't know why I expected not to like it. Probably same reason. I'm not a huge Chalamet fan, but
yeah, Chalamet,
yeah.
Similar to you, but like Bob Dylan was one of my like all-time heroes growing up. Yeah. Like it still is. Like it just, I was obsessed with him. Used to love all his musical, that sort of stuff. And then like when this got announced, I was just like, oh, Chalamet. Yeah. Like it's just, I don't think you can capture the essence of that sort of like, not downtrodden, but he's just sort of offbeat, weird, kilter sort of dude. And I was like, he's too pristine,
Yeah.
Oh, Joan Baez is played by Arnie's daughter from Fubar. I like her.
Right. And Ed Norton actually is also fantastic in the film.
He's very good as Seeger, yeah.
Yeah, Pete Seeger, yeah. It also helps, I mean, as Dave knows, Freewheelin' Bob Dylan is my favourite Dylan album, which Dave thinks I'm wrong on.
That so loudly. You're eroding the credibility of the show.
So, yeah, I guess we've got lots to talk about next week, so that'll be that. But in the meantime, thanks heaps for joining us, Sam.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'll be back for, was it Thunderbolts or Fantastic Four? Which one's coming up first?
The Thunderbolts, I think.
Thunderbolts May and Fantastic Four in June. Oh, you guys will see me soon.
Definitely one of them is May. I saw that on the trailer. Yeah.
yeah. It'll be Thunderbolts. Cool.
All right. Well, in the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that at pottymouthradio.com, and you can go join the Facebook listener community where Sam is there, I'm sure.
Always.
We'll catch you next week with something.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Remember, I didn't give myself a chance to do a retort to where you think this ranks in terms of shit MCU films.
Yeah.
Because it's better for me. It's better than Eternals, Doctor Strange. I'm trying to think of most recent ones.
Not better than Eternals.
No.
Better than Doctor Strange, but most things are.
No, I mean, like I said,
it's probably it's about par with Eternals, slightly better than Doctor Strange. Like, I'm trying to think of ones that I've actually like.
Not as good as Black Widow. Not as good as, it's better than Shang-Chi. It's better than Multiverse.
Like I said, it could be recency bias for me, but like off the top of my head, I can't think of a worse MCU film. Like one that I enjoyed.
I want you to go back and watch Dark World or Iron Man 2. Those two are generally considered to be the worst. Even Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, I feel, is done.
You know what?
Nothing with James Spade is a terrible film.
It's been a long time since I've seen either of those films. But the other day, God, how can I find it? The other day on my Facebook, it popped up with, how it pops up with memories?
Yeah.
Um, November 9, 2013, I posted, took the morning off to see Thor the Dark World in IMAX. It was awesome. Best Avengers movie yet.
What?
I don't dislike Dark
And
Thor
here's
the
the
Dark World.
thing. I have no
We
idea.
need this on the podcast so everyone knows how bullshit your opinion
I'm
is.
still recording. I'll put it in post. Like,
Good. They need to know this. So when you say,
I-
"Oh, this movie sucks," they can hear you say this and go, "Oh, this guy's just contrary."
I have no idea if I. Oh, okay, all right. So I wasn't sure if maybe I was being ironic, but then I'm looking at the comments. Chris Wooldridge, Topher, commented, "You reckon? I thought it was plenty entertaining, and my man crush on Hemsworth probably grew some, but still not a patch on the first Iron Man for me." So, so even Topher liked it. That's what he said.
What the fuck is going on here?
I thought I hated it and rewatched it like 2 years ago or something and genuinely liked it. I like the Portman Hemsworth.
Now
Maybe
I
I
want
need to
to
give it another try.
I want to
And there's
rewatch
an
it.
awful lot of Kat Dennings in Dark World.
You know what?
Ugh.
You know
She's
what,
got her
Sam?
own intern, which is hilarious.
Let's do an episode on it.
Okay, I'm down. 100%. I'm always down to do a Marvel movie. I'm fucking keen.
Yeah. All right.
In a month's time, give me a month. So I
Dark
can...
World Redux, reassessing the masterpiece. Does it still hold up?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Was it really that terrible that people make out? Because that one, Iron Man 2, and even what am I? Yeah, Age of
Iron
Ultron,
Man
there was
2 I
something
haven't
else that a
seen
lot of people
since it
like.
came
This
out.
is the worst. This is the absolute worst that the MCU's done.
Yeah, Ultron
Yeah,
people
Ultron
a lot
always
didn't
gets
like.
slack, but
I liked it.
I like Age of Ultron because I love James Spader. Anything he's
Same.
in, I'll
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah, I like his brand of creepy. He's
Mm.
yeah.